Hi there, welcome to week 10 of my beachcombing blanket crochet along. The weeks are flying by. So this week we are crocheting the final parts to the main blanket. It's these rows at the top which we repeat at the bottom, and they are rows inspired by sand and driftwood and sea glass and shells, so lots of beachcombing inspiration this week. So in this week's video I'm just going to take a little stroll along this beach, my favourite beach, and see if we can find any shells, any bits of sea glass, any driftwood, the things that have inspired the crochet this week. So let's see what we can find. The start of our rows this week are inspired by sand, and obviously usually on this very beach it's full of pebbles, but sometimes the power of the sea just washes all those pebbles away and then we're left with sand, which is quite nice once in a while. The sea almost looks silver today, reflecting those darker skies. It's still getting the light through. It's beautiful silver reflecting sea. And so here are the rows we're doing this week. Those rows inspired by the sand and driftwood and sea glass and the shells. Miniature Schnauzers are dogs that need regular grooming because their hair keeps growing. It's been quite some time since Salty had her hair cut. I think it was back in end of January, beginning of February, when she went for her modelling shoot at Simply Crochet magazine. So she's well due one, and actually she's booked in this Saturday, so I look forward to showing you the before and after photos next week. It's amongst these small little pebbles that we often find pieces of sea glass. There's a fabulous piece of sea glass by Salty's paws. That little flash of green amongst the seaweed. See that flash of green? This one here. Sometimes we get flashes of green that are actually seaweed, but then we get the flashes of green, which are the beautiful pieces of sea glass. And I was really hoping to find a lovely piece of sea glass for you today, and we have. Do you see this clear bit? It's a really beautiful piece. It's quite a good size, it's beautifully rounded, and it's clear, which for us is a little bit rarer. So really lovely. Seaglass looks great when you wet it. So here's that clear bit I found. And if I hold that up, you can see sparkly. So what else have you all been up to? Obviously crochet is a really big part of our lives. It's certainly an enormous part of my life. But it's not everything. There's been lots going on in the news this week, things for us all to think about. One thing I have been getting back into is reading. I used to read a lot for pleasure, but haven't done so for many years. I'm either busy crocheting or doing the social media side of coastal crochet, catching up on things. But I have got into a book called The Shell Seekers, which is quite relevant to beachcombing. It was recommended by Lucy from Attic 24 when she released her Dune blanket last year. So I bought a copy then, bought a second-hand copy, but just haven't got round to reading it. But Sea Salt, one of my very favourite clothing companies, I think I'm wearing a Sea Salt dress now. They have done a book club during lockdown and recommended 10 books for seaside lovers, and The Shell Seekers was in amongst that list. So that was a sure sign for me to read it. So I've started it. I've put a picture of it on my blog so you can see the book I mean. It's by Rosamund Pilcher. And I'm really enjoying it. It's good for me to do a little bit of reading for pleasure. It's set in the 80s, so it's a little bit dated, but it describes the Cornish coast really beautifully, and definitely a lovely book to read if you like the seaside. You can see a shell here. That's a very pretty one. And another one. And there's a couple more shells in amongst the seaweed. These are particularly beautiful. So here are the shells and a few pieces of sea glass I found today. I think they're rather lovely. Ooh, just about to walk away and I can see a lovely one. Flash of green. There we go. That's another lovely bit. And there I've added that green bit to the others that I found today. Lovely pieces. The sea and the coast really do produce such beautiful things. The tide's going out, so the rocks are becoming exposed. No driftwood today, So although there's a little bit of driftwood inspiration in our blanket rows this week, I haven't found any on the beach. But that's what I love about beachcombing. You never quite know what you're going to find. So I've loved sharing the beach with you again this week. It's cloudier, the seas are still really lovely and calm, but it feels different to the previous videos that I filmed for you. The weather has definitely turned. I did a little bit of filming yesterday when I was down here, and I'll show a little bit of that now. I haven't found any shells yet, but I wanted to show you this. These stones that have holes carved through the centre. Sometimes they're called hagstones. And so there you go, how different the sea was yesterday to today. 24 hours exactly, and how different they are. But that's the joy of living by the coast, and quite a diverse coastline for sure. So enjoy the crochet. It's the last part of the main blanket this week, so we'll be finishing off our top and bottom panels before next week, week 11, and then in week 12 it's all about the edging. So it's amazing how quickly the weeks are flying by all of a sudden, and we're nearly at the end of our beachcombing blanket journey, but still a little way to go. So till the next time, stay safe, stay well.